Hi everyone, welcome back to Blues Focus TV for another transfer roundup video. We've had a few links since the last one. The last video we looked at Jamie Patterson and Jordan Graham, two players that we were rumoured to be looking at. Whether we're still looking at them, who knows? But two good players who I'd be happy to see come to Blues, but no updates on those two as of yet. So 4 targets to look at today. Reasonably exciting one. I'm just going to kind of guide you through them, give you a bit more information on those players if you don't know them very well already. So I'll start off with young striker Elliot Sims on loan at Blackpool this season, who have made the playoffs and finished third, I believe. So very good season for them. But Elliot Sims is a young striker on loan from Everton, 20 years old, so still very young. Sort of young talent that you want Blues to be looking at, I imagine. So far in League One this season, he's made 21 appearances and scored 8 goals and assisted 2 goals. So not bad, 10 goal contributions in sort of half a season, and only 1 yellow card for all you statos. And then starting 11, he's been in it 68% of the time he's been at Blackpool. Moving on, we'll kind of just look at his general career. So he's been at Everton youth level for a long time. He actually started at Man City youth and then was brought to Everton. Has played a lot of games for their youth sides. And then his first proper loan spell in professional football was at Blackpool this season. So very big step for him. And he seems to have relished that step, if I'm honest with you. In his time, he's made, obviously, the 21 appearances in League One, like I said, and he's also made 12 appearances in the PDL2 at youth level, scored 8 goals there, and has made 1 appearance in the FA Cup as well. So, yeah, he's not made the English youth level. He's not played at international youth level, unfortunately. But so far, from the stats I've seen, he looks like a very impressive young lad. Definitely got a career ahead of him. He's reasonable height as well, about 5'11", 6 foot. So quite tall, quite pacey, athletic, and just a good, promising young centre forward. If I had to compare him to anyone, he looks like how Che Adams looked when we first bought him. So, if we managed to develop a striker into a similar sort of build to the way Che went on to, that'd be great. But they are actually quite similar in sort of when we first got Che. So I'd be very kind of pro towards this deal. I'm very for it. Like promising young striker. Think it'd be a good bit of energy that Blues could do with, bit of pace, and some hunger. I feel like he could bring some hunger to our side because obviously he'll want to do well, and it's always good to see youth doing well. We do have quite a competitive youth setup with a lot of young attackers. So it'd be great to cause a bit more competition there, I think. But overall, Ellis Sims, it's a yes from me. We'll see how that deal develops over time and if anything comes of it. I really hope something does come of it, that's for sure. Moving on to the next target, we've got Alex Pritchard, formerly of Huddersfield Town, now a free agent, as he's been released this season. However, not too long before this recording, Brian Dick has clarified that Lee Bowyer is yet to meet with the board to discuss budgets and targets. So there's probably no legs in this rumour at all. But yet again, it's another one reported by EFL Hub on Twitter. So there's your source. So I doubt this one will happen, as Brian Dick is a very reliable source at Birmingham Mail, very close to the club. Writes plenty of good articles as well. So go check that out for a bit more information around Blues. But we'll analyse the target anyway for the video's sake. He's quite a good Championship player. His record's relatively impressive. He's played lots of Championship football. That's for certain. Here we are. So he's had 6 seasons in the Championship. The most appearances made in a Championship season is 45, which was when Brentford first came up and had that shock run in the playoffs. He scored 12 goals that season and assisted 7. That's probably his Championship best. And then obviously at Norwich, the season after that, he made 30 appearances, scored 6 goals and assisted 9. So his Championship record is quite impressive. It's kind of dipped from there on out, though. He has made a few Premier League appearances, making 30 Premier League appearances for Huddersfield Town in the 18-19 season, scoring 2 goals. So his record is all right, you know. In his career, he's made 244 appearances, scoring 39 goals and assisting 41 goals. So it's a fair return in goal contributions, that's for sure. If I'm right, it's 80 goal contributions in 244 games. Decent record. Unfortunately, he does have his injury habits. That's probably his big downside. But overall, a very intelligent attacking player. But he is getting on a bit now and seems to have lost his rhythm. But, you know, we've seen with plenty of players in the past that players can rediscover their form anywhere. Prime example most recently would be Jesse Lingard at West Ham. So, you know, I'm sure there's still definitely a player in there because you look at some of his numbers and they are very, very impressive, especially in the Championship. But that just moves on from that target, really. So personally, if I had the opportunity to bring in Alex Pritchard in, I feel like if the money was right, I wouldn't be against it. He was a big earner at Huddersfield, so that'd be the only thing that put me off a bit, especially if he's injury prone. But if the deal is right, then why not? But I do believe that he's not really a target for Blues this summer, from what it sounds like Brian Dick has said. And he was more of a target in January for the previous regime under Dong and Karanka. So I doubt we'll see anything of the Alex Pritchard rumour come to light, to be honest. That does bring me on to my next player that there's been rumours of. This one has circulated from a Brazilian sports journalism company. Can't remember the name. You'll find the source somewhere on Twitter, but it's been shared by a few people. Blues and Huddersfield are apparently both interested. I doubt there's much legs in it, but it's a 19-year-old from Flamengo called Lazaro. Hasn't actually really played much. He's only ever made 5 professional appearances with no goals, no assists. However, at youth level, for the Brazil under 17s and under 16s, he's made a few appearances, 3 appearances for the Brazil under 17s, scoring 2 goals. So not bad. I feel like that's the only positive to take, really. There's not much information circulating around Lazaro. All I've heard is he's quite a promising youngster that can play attacking midfield or up front. Personally, I don't think there's much to this. I don't think it's a realistic one that we'll see happen. But, you know, I'm always up for giving young talent a go if the deal is right. So why not? But yeah, there's not too much on Lazaro, really. The next 2 lads who I'm going to talk about as well, there's not too much kicking about on them. They're more academy players, I believe, or players that we want to bring into the academy. This one was released today by Birmingham Live. So the Birmingham Mail. Birmingham City set to sign Newcastle United teen star Josh Home. 15 years old. Looks like Blues want to offer him a 2-year scholarship. So it's just, you know, picking more talent from Premier League clubs, which is good. And hopefully we see him kicking around in the first team in a few years' time. The last target I'm going to talk about today is, as reported by Birmingham Mail, Blues have handed a trial to a young Rangers goalkeeper called Brian Kinnear. I believe that's how you say it. Don't bash me if I've said that wrong. But yeah, no, I think he was part of the Rangers bunch that went partying during lockdown and got fined and all that. with George Edmondson, a young lad who went to Derby in the end. I think they were looking to kind of ship out those 10 lads that had gone out and broken lockdown rules and stuff. And Blues seem to have handed this lad a trial. Don't blame Blues if he's any good, then fair enough. Again, another youngster where there's not much out there about him statistically. He's only ever made 2 professional appearances, not keeping a single clean sheet. He shipped 2 goals in his professional career, and that was an appearance in the Scottish Second Division and the Scottish Cup. So not really too much out there. He's had 1 loan spell as well at Annan Athletic FC. So that's really all there is to say about him. He's not played for Scotland international at youth level. So yet again, there's just not much to say on him really. But yeah, that kind of wraps up the video. So there was only really 2 targets that I could talk about at detail. But the one that does interest me is Elliot Sims from Everton, who's currently on loan at Blackpool. Really, really good striker mould, I believe, who is a very similar player to Che Adams, but has got a few more things about him as well that you could match him to other strikers in a sense. I'm all for bringing in young League One talent. I always have been. I think that's really a good route for Blues to go down, and I feel like that is the route Bowyer will take. However, it was reported by EFL Hub, so I don't know whether there'll be any legs in the report, to be honest. But if there is, then that's great. But don't take my word for it. But thank you for joining me again, everyone, for another transfer roundup video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please drop a like and also leave a comment on your thoughts on whether you'd want any of these lot to join Blues next season. But that's it from me, guys. I'll see you in the next one, really. Keep right on.